Hello, everybody, and welcome to this bonus episode of Mastering Midlife, How to Thrive When the World Asks the Most of You. I am your host, Mark Silverman. I love my Friday podcasts where I get to talk about what I'm paying attention to this week. One of my favorite quotes, and I have no idea where it came from, but I love it. And if you know who did, please let me know, is the definition of true freedom is being able to put your attention where you want it, when you want it, and for how long you want it. True freedom is being able to put your attention where you want it, when you want it, and for how long you want it. Now, of course, for a guy with ADD, that of course would be the holy grail and the thing that I would lock onto. That, oh my God, if I could put my attention where I wanted it, when I want it, and for how long I wanted it, I would be a billionaire and creating castles and businesses and charities, and I would change the world. My problem is squirrel. So of course that is something that's important to me. But I also know that what we create is a function of where our attention is, because we create with our word, we create with our intention, we create with our energy, and our energy follows our attention. So if you'll notice where your attention is all day, and if you took an inventory, you'd be horrified if you looked at the battery on your phone, the battery power, where it tells you how much time you spent on social media, how much time you spent replying to people on Twitter. You'd be horrified, because if you know, your life expands and contracts in direct proportion to where your attention is. So what I've noticed for myself is I have spent the really good part of my time in the last year on my meditation cushion with my books and with my pen and paper, and really, really digging into what I'll call my spiritual condition, my relationship with God, my relationship with reality. And with amazing results. The lightness and the brilliance of my life and my inner world uh, is unmatched to anything I've ever experienced before. But what I have neglected is my physical well-being. I've neglected exercising really hard, so my waist is expanding. Last year, I really focused on building my practice, networking, putting out content, connecting with people, doing my free coaching calls with people who would be a good fit or be good referrals. And I spent a lot of time with that. And now I have a full practice. So I notice where I put my attention is where my energy goes, and where my energy goes miraculously grows. So that goes with the dichotomy that my brain, my ADD brain, and my very human ego doesn't like, is true freedom is in self-discipline. Now, again, no prescription is one size fits all. For one person, not paying attention to things and really allowing themselves to float would be the path to the next lesson or the next level. But for most of us, we're in a society that spends billions and billions and billions of dollars to get our attention elsewhere, to get our attention on our phones, to get our attention on some screen somewhere, to get us to spend our money, to spend our attention, to get ourselves off our own agenda. It is an unfair advantage. The problem is it's exponential, because once you look at that little red dot on your phone that says you have a message or a new tweet or a new news story, you start to get used to that look at the squirrel mentality, and that contemplative, that deliberate and conscious way of living. That muscle starts to atrophy, so that when you're not looking at your phone, you still don't have the nervous system to be able to sit and to contemplate and to really focus where you want to put your energy. So self-mastery and self-discipline is a great place to start. For me, it's leaving my phone in another room at times. It's not having the radio on in the car sometimes, or even when I go for a walk with my dog. I love listening to podcasts or books or music. And sometimes I just leave that off so I can get my nervous system used to just being with myself and slowing down. And the effects of that are I can go and create the things that I want to create in the world. So back to uh, true freedom. True freedom for me is being able to put my attention where I want it. So this morning I wanted to create this podcast. when I wanted. I wanted to do it, before my producers needed it for the following Friday, and for how long I wanted it. My mind races while I do these things so that I forget what I'm talking about. So to be able to stay on point, to stay on subject is not an easy thing for me. I am Ricochet Rabbit. So to be able to stay here has taken practice. To be able to actually record an entire podcast without an interview, without anybody else, has taken practice in my nervous system, my muscles. And now I'm pretty good at that. And as you know, these are going to be chapters that are coming up in the book Mastering Midlife. So what can you do today? My first and foremost suggestion is breathing from your belly. Remember, if you're breathing from your belly, you're taking yourself out of that slight fight or flight when you're breathing from your chest and shallow and you're just a little bit nervous. You breathe from your belly, you start to ground a little bit and you start to slow down. That's the first step. Breathe from your belly. Notice your surroundings. Feel the air. Listen to sounds. If you could just do that for 1 minute, you can do that for more times, and that's your start of self-discipline. What can you do today to quiet the things that are taking your attention? And then you can figure out, where do you want your attention? What do you want to grow in your life? What do you want to expand in your life? Because you are unlimitedly powerful. Is that a word? You are unlimitedly powerful. Where your attention goes, you do create, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. So let's make it conscious. Thanks for giving me your time and attention. I love you, and have a great rest of the day.